Well, let's talk about making wise decisions and whether you should do it on facts, what you think are facts, and what you feel are facts. There are things that you need to know without a doubt before you do things, like pricing a cupcake. You don't want to price it on what you feel you should price it on, because you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Lord knows I did. I priced a lot of things based on my feelings, because I don't know if I can get that much money. Oh, well, so and so are around the corner selling them for that price, so let's just be like somewhere in the middle. And those kind of decisions are bad. Kind of like when you get a contractor, you don't want to always take like the first contractor. You do want to, talk to a few of them, find out their expertise, see some reviews, and then find out, okay, I've got a ceiling leak, so I'm not going to bring in some Joe Blow off of the street. I'm going to actually go with a company that says these are our specialties. And I'm going to hire that company, and I'm going to have them come in, and I'm going to have them do the work. Because if something goes wrong, then I can say, you're the professional, you were supposed to fix this. But you can't make decisions in a knee-jerky way either. You can't just be like, ooh, that sounds like an awesome decision, let's go that direction, without thinking a little bit. Now, that's the tricky part, because on the other hand, you don't want to make decisions that take you 3 years to make a decision that should have taken you, about 5 or 10 minutes worth of reasonable thought processing. So there's a lot of things at stake when you make a decision. And when you don't know, you tend to fill in the blanks, because your brain does that. That's how our brains work. Our brains say, I don't know what the answer is, but logically it seems to me that this should be the answer. But when we do that, then we find ourselves having issues because we made the wrong choice. I made a ton of wrong choices. I made a ton of bad choices. I made a ton of choices based on my feelings and my needs and my desires, and that was all the wrong choices. I had the feeling that this was my baby. It's not my baby, it's a business. And once I got past that point, then I started seeing things a whole lot different. So when business coaches were telling me, this is what you need to do and this is why you need to do it, instead of me automatically fighting back and saying, but no, I don't want to go that route, or, that won't work for my business because of A, B, and C, and D. We all have our excuses of why we don't think things will work. But we all need to come to the realization that sometimes other people know more facts than us, and we don't always have the facts in our brain. So we do need to go to an outside source and find those facts. So in our case, it actually took me 5 different coaches by the time we were done. The first 3 coaches really got me in gear and got me thinking and feeling differently, and made me start having a focus on my business like a business. It was no longer my baby, and it became less of a expensive ass hobby, or if you don't even want to call it a hobby, it can be one expensive ass charity that you're not raising any money into, you're just putting money out, just not good either. So you have to be reasonable with what information you are applying. Is it true? Is it true because you researched it a little bit? Or is it true because you think it might be true? Or is it true because you feel it might be true? Ask yourself these questions when you're about to make big decisions. Like if somebody says, you should get a liquor license, I think this would be great. You'd be like, yeah, that could be great. Okay, but most liquor licenses start at least 10 grand. And there's a lot of different things that go into getting a liquor license. Like you have to petition the neighbors and ask them, would you like it if we have a liquor license? And they have the opportunity to say no. So it's not a given if you want to do a liquor license. And also, within those liquor license laws, there are rules and regulations. Like sometimes they will say you can't have outside music. Sometimes they will say you can't have a band on site. Sometimes they will say you can't sell your liquor to go. They have to drink it on site. So if you want to sell wine by the bottle, or you want to sell beer by the bottle and let them take it home, you can't do that. You have to know what you are talking about before you start doing these things. So do a little bit of research. It's the same thing when you're taking business advice from people that just walk randomly into your restaurant. I had that in the very beginning. We had a lot of so-called professionals that used to do this for a living, but their advice was very outdated, and it was not really helping me make decisions. And I found myself kind of taking advice from this person, advice from that person. But I didn't ask questions like, why did your business close down? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you teaching something about this if you know so much? I didn't ask those kind of questions, so I didn't get the right answer. Because I didn't get the right answer, I was kind of putting in a little bit of this and a little bit of that, trying to stir it all together and hoping that the magic of profit would just come up. But that was wrong. There was so many more things I needed to know about making my profit and pricing my stuff accordingly and making wise decisions on buying something and not buying like the cheapest something because that's all I could afford, and holding off and trying to save some pennies and get something of better quality later on, because it was going to be a big pain in my butt if I didn't do the right choice. So we did that. We bought poor materials, we bought poor packaging, and we bought things that made us we didn't look quite so mature. We didn't look like we had our stuff together. There was so many mistakes we did because we were just trying to do anything to get attention, anything to bring money in the door, anything at all. And when we were not focusing on who we wanted to be and why we wanted to be that way, and we didn't have the facts, the pure facts, we made bogus decisions. We made decisions based on our mind and our heart, and that got us into lots of trouble. I shouldn't say us because I am the trigger shooter of the shop, and so it was my bad decisions that got me in the problems that we were in. I made knee-jerk reactions, decisions based on what I thought was true and what I felt was true. I did no research at all in the very beginning. Now I research. So I go and I check out different packaging when people say, oh, this is the best packaging for these cookies. I go and I research it and I think about that. Okay, well, that won't work for my cookies because it will suck the moisture out of my cookies. Okay, we can't put our cake slices in that because our cakes are decorated with all kinds of stuff and our cakes will be too tall to fit in that packaging. Oh, well, we don't want to market in this coupon book because that's not the kind of customer we want to attract. We don't want to market this way in the coupon book. Maybe we want to market this way instead of giving a coupon. Maybe we just want to showcase what our best stuff is. So you have to think and ask questions and figure out, are we going the right direction? Are we marketing to the right people? Are we priced right? Are we training our people right? Are we presenting well before our customers? Are we doing all of the things that need to be done properly, or are we doing things knee-jerk reactive because we think we know what we're doing and we feel like we know what we're doing, and so therefore we know what we're doing? If you aren't asking the right questions, you're going to make the wrong decisions. So that's my best advice today. Ask questions. Get a little more deeper into the conversations on what you want to do and why you want to do it. See y'all later.